several days. But here's the deal. It is spring here in North Texas, and you know it can change on a dime, and it likely is going to by the time we get to tomorrow night. A lot of folks traveling for the upcoming holiday weekend. I'd say early in the day Friday, not a problem, but we do return the threat for thunderstorms and the risk for severe weather beginning Friday night, all day Saturday night, and very early on Easter Sunday morning. Heavy rain and even a flood threat expected for us on Saturday. Now, we do get a break, so Easter Sunday in the afternoon and Monday, if you're traveling back to North Texas, conditions will be quiet. And then as we go into the middle of next week, things start ramping up once again. So let's talk about these travel conditions. So really through tomorrow, most of us are quiet. Some snow in the Rockies. Yes, it still snows this time of year. Shower chances start to increase from Oklahoma off to the north and east, all the way up to portions of the Great Lakes. I think most of North Texas is quiet through tomorrow afternoon. And then tomorrow night into Saturday is when we begin to see those changes with widespread showers, thunderstorms, and the threat for severe weather here. We're likely to have wet conditions all the way into the Ohio River Valley and Great Lakes. It stays active Saturday evening, Saturday night, and then this system will eventually move to the east. So by Sunday afternoon, we're looking good, but still kind of unsettled off to our east and northeast. If you're staying at least a little bit closer to home, here's how our rain chances are going to play out. Keeping a low chance for showers tomorrow through the afternoon, just showers. And then starting late tomorrow night, we will see some thunderstorm development off to our west and northwest. Those storms will likely be strong to severe with a wind and hail risk. A lot of the activity Friday night stays just north and west of the Metroplex. Still think we could have some moving into DFW, but the higher coverage will be off to our north and west. By Saturday, another little piece of energy comes in. We're watching that dry line. Scattered showers and storms develop, and conditions are favorable for some severe storms. Be prepared for that. While not everyone getting the severe weather, we do expect those storms to have gusty downburst winds, large hail, and we cannot rule out an isolated tornado on Saturday. Heavy rain kind of takes over that severe risk as we go through Saturday night, and then by Sunday morning, everything dries out from west to east. So at this point, we are at a slight risk starting tomorrow night and going through Easter morning. What does that mean? That's a level 2 on the 1 to 5 scale. It means that some conditions are there for severe weather. There will be some severe storms, just not widespread severe storms throughout those time periods. The most active time period for us is Saturday afternoon and night, and that is when all modes of severe weather will be possible. The flood threat really does rise Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. That's when the highest coverage of rain and storms will be around. Easily 1 to 3 inches of rainfall, isolated 4+ is possible, and computer models have done a really good job of that. I think those higher totals are likely going to be north of I-20, closer to the Red River, but it really doesn't take much for us to see some flooding here, especially around the Metroplex. So just be aware of that Saturday afternoon beginning at that time and continuing through the nighttime hours. So for the rest of the day today, you know, it's quiet. We've got some clouds coming in. It'll be very gloomy, warm and windy going through your Friday. You just kind of feel it outside. There are some changes on the way. Well, yeah, those changes are getting here very quickly thanks to this upper level system. This will be the main weather maker for us in these time periods. But once it moves out, we get a brief break for your Sunday afternoon and Monday of next week. That is it. So let's talk about our future cast, keeping us quiet. Not a whole lot happening. Warm and muggy start to Good Friday. Strong south winds gusting to 30 miles an hour. Low shower chance through the day, 20% at best. And then we'll look off to the north and west Friday night for that thunderstorm development. Still think highest coverage will be for our northwestern zones. And then by Saturday morning, we're going to see a lot of this try and shift to the east. Coverage at about 60% going through your Saturday, and then we up it to about 80 or 90% Saturday night. And at this point, not only strong to severe thunderstorms, but that heavy rain and flood threat going to be around for us. Some computer models have slowed down a little bit on the timing. So for those early morning Easter sunrise masses, or even some of the earlier morning Easter egg hunts, could still be a couple of showers out there. I think the better chances for that will be in our eastern counties, but the grounds will definitely be soggy. So just be aware of that as well. So we'll be coming back here in just a few minutes. Want to talk more if you are traveling across the state or maybe somewhere else across the country for the holiday weekend. We'll have more details on these severe threats in the coming days. Meteorologist Ali Turiano here in the Forewarned Weather Center, back talking about some holiday weekend travel concerns, not just for North Texas, but other parts of the country. If you are maybe leaving tomorrow for a long weekend with friends and family, there are at least some things going on. There's some mountain snow going through tomorrow morning. A good portion of the lower 48, not too shabby to start Friday, even here close to home, decent. But starting tomorrow night, we'll begin to see shower and thunderstorm development from the southern plains all the way into the Great Lakes, and that's really going to be the location for some rough weather for a couple of days. We'll see a stalled front and several disturbances help reinvigorate the activity developing. So by Saturday, widespread showers and thunderstorms for parts of central and north Texas, severe threat going up, and that will just continue through the day through parts of Arkansas and all the way up into areas like St. Louis, Chicago, as well as parts of the state of Ohio. This activity going to continue going on through Saturday night, and then on Sunday is when we start to see some changes. Upper level system helps finally move this out. All of the wet weather exits Texas, but will continue for portions of the Great Lakes, and upper Midwest. So very wet, soggy for a lot of folks through the upcoming weekend. Now, close to home, if you plan on leaving tomorrow, maybe staying across the state, most areas for Friday are just really warm, windy, and mostly cloudy. Rain chances hold off through much of Friday. Will be a little bit higher as you head up towards Oklahoma City. Small rain chance possible there, but otherwise relatively quiet. It's Friday night, Saturday when that activity really starts to get going. And if you live in Texas, you know about the dry line. Here's what we'll be watching. This time of year, it happens all the time. This guy kind of sloshes back and forth, and all you need is a little bit of energy to help produce thunderstorms, and we're going to have that with this stalled front. So starting Saturday, the threat for strong to severe thunderstorms goes way up. High winds and hail are the main threats, but tornadoes will also be possible. I think isolated in nature for us here, but it could be a little bit of a greater risk as you head towards areas like Little Rock, Memphis, and Paducah, Kentucky. So that'll be something to watch on Saturday. About 60% coverage close to home. Saturday night, coverage gets even higher, and that is when our flood threat goes up. So bottom line, small wind and hail risk for us going through Friday night and very early Saturday morning. The greater risks close to home are in our northwestern zones. So if you are traveling out of North Texas earlier in the day, Friday is the way to do it. And then on Saturday, not a great day to travel and leaving DFW because we have widespread showers and thunderstorms in the forecast, more than one round as well. We'll see some activity in the morning, more in the late afternoon and evening, and then more at night. And specifically for the afternoon and evening is when we have the greatest risk for those severe storms, as well as that isolated tornado threat. Computer models kind of have a tough go at activity like this because we've got more than one disturbance, pieces of energy rolling through, but they kind of get the idea. It's warm, muggy, quiet for most of Friday. That's the time to leave if you are heading out of North Texas. Late afternoon, early evening, a shower or rumble possible, low coverage, but then the chances increase for us Friday night, going into Saturday with more activity moving through. And this is going to be a very heavy rain event as well for much of Saturday. So that means if you have early morning, maybe Easter egg hunts on Sunday, it may not be raining where you are, but the ground will be soggy. I think the greatest coverage will likely take place Saturday night into very early Sunday morning. And by 7, 8 a.m., most of us are rain free with all of that precipitation heading into East Texas. But that also means, as I mentioned, a very soggy grass to be looking for those Easter eggs. I'd say check back with us because obviously one disturbance can impact the next. But I will say for the entire holiday weekend, Saturday in North Texas is the greatest chance for not just rain and thunderstorms, but for severe storms as well.
As they continue their work. I'd also like to thank all the healthcare providers at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital